everyone, this is Farmer Katie and we are going to plant some seeds today. So let's get started. First of all, you do not need any sort of fancy equipment to plant seeds. You don't even need a seed starting kit, although I do have one here. So we're going to start with this. This is just one of the many ways you can plant seeds. This is what we call a mini greenhouse. Keeps the humidity high for seeds to germinate. Inside this mini greenhouse, we have these peat pellets. So the first thing we're going to do, if you have peat pellets, is we need to soak them in water. While the peat pellets are soaking in water, we're going to look at other ways we can plant seeds. I'm going to set these peat pellets right here. Let them soak. All right, another way we can plant seeds is just with a good old-fashioned egg carton. We don't even need the top, so I'm just going to tear that off. These paper fiber cartons work best because later, when it's time to plant them in the ground, we can actually just cut apart each individual compartment and plant it directly in the ground because this is completely biodegradable. So, first thing we're going to do is we are going to put soil. I'm using potting soil here. Potting soil is going to be the best thing to plant your seeds in because it's going to stay nice and moist while they're waking up. We've filled the egg carton, and now we're just going to tap it down. Let me show you another thing we can use to plant seeds. What if you don't have a seed starting kit or an egg carton? How about just a good old-fashioned container? I've poked a few holes in the bottom for drainage. We're going to put some potting soil in here. And here's another option. Last but not least, if you do not have a seed starting kit, an egg carton, or a container, most everyone should have a toilet paper roll. Now, please, especially children, do not go wasting toilet paper just to get to the roll. Wait till the roll is finished. And then we're going to bend down the ends just to create a closed bottom, like such. And then, once again, we are going to fill it with soil. Now, regardless of what method you are using, we are going to plant the seeds the same for all different containers. Now, I am noticing that our peat pellets over here are starting to absorb the water and puff up, but it looks like they've drank almost all the water, so I'm going to add some more. All right, while the peat pellets are soaking up the rest of this water, let's move on to the egg carton. Now, the challenge is going to be just getting 1 or 2 seeds in each hole. You can use a pencil, you can use your pinky finger, but whatever you use, you just need to make a small indentation in the soil, a little hole. We are going to start with a seed that is very easy to grow, very quick, and very simple to pour out into your hand. These are beans, just like dried beans you would get from the store, but these were grown specifically to be sold as seeds. This is a bush bean called French fillet. If you were eating this or buying it from a grocery store, you probably just call it a green bean or a string bean. So, for this, because the seeds are bigger and easy to handle, I am just going to take 1 bean seed and put it in the little hole that I have poked. See? Now, I'm going to do this for the rest of the egg carton. We need 2 more. Does anyone know how many eggs are in a regular carton? If you said a dozen, you're correct, or 12. All right, I have all my seeds, and now I'm just going to gently brush the potting soil back over them. They're all buried. And then the most important step, besides actually planting, is we need to water them. Why do we need to water them? Does anyone know? Water is one of the things that we use to wake seeds up. If you've ever heard the word dormant, that is what seeds are when they're in this pack. They're dormant. Another word for dormant is sleeping. They're just sleeping. They're asleep and they're waiting for us to wake them up. So there's a couple ways we can wake them up, and one of those ways is water. They're basically asleep and they're waiting for the right conditions. So if these seeds were just on a plant out in the wild, they would be waiting for certain temperatures and for water to wake them up. We are going to make that happen by putting them in the soil, watering them, and it is almost spring, and so our temperatures are going to be right for these beans to sprout or germinate. Now you may be wondering what these are going to look like in just a week or so once they start growing. I happen to have a bean plant here that I planted about 10 days ago. Beans go really fast, so if you're not planting beans, don't expect your other plants to grow this quickly in 10 days, but they will grow. This is a bean plant that was just planted about 10 days ago. I'm going to shake the soil off the roots just so you guys can see. All of these roots and leaves have grown in the last 10 days. Isn't that amazing? What's also amazing is one seed. One seed was planted and grew into one bean plant that produced many beans, and we were able to collect those bean seeds and plant many, many more plants. There are so many amazing things about a seed, and this is just one of them. All right, if we were doing the toilet paper roll, we would do the same thing. Make a little hole, plant the seed, and cover it up. Same with our container. I'm going to make 3 in the shape of a triangle in our little plastic cup. And then last but not least, our peat pellets have puffed up. And if you're working with peat pellets, you are actually going to push the seed down in the middle of the pellet, cover it up, and then when you have done all of them, if your tray has a little plastic cover, which we're calling a greenhouse, to keep the humidity up, you can cover them up. Now, I happen to be in a real greenhouse, and you probably don't have one of those at your house. So what you can do is just put this in a sunny windowsill, or put this in a sunny windowsill, or this in a sunny windowsill. In fact, most plants don't even need light to germinate, but we want to make sure that as soon as the little plants have emerged that they do have sunlight. So the easiest way to do that is to just sit them in a windowsill and wait. Now, I want everyone to plant their seeds today, and I'm going to keep checking back with you and show you the progress of my seeds, and I hope to see the progress of your seeds as well.